Hello, everybody. This is going to be our reading from Act 4, Scene 1 of Midsummer Night's Dream for week 5 of your course in Shakespeare. So here we are going to look at the first few lines of Act 4, Scene 1, basically lines 1 to 101, so from the beginning until about 100 lines through. So here we have Titania and Bottom pursuing their very strange love affair, and then the intervention of Oberon, who will admit to Titania the use of the famous love juice, which has made her fall in love with the first thing she sees. So here we go. Read with me. So Act 4, Scene 1, from the beginning up to about line 101. Titania, come sit thee down upon this flowery bed, while I thy amiable cheeks do coy, and stick musk roses in thy smooth sleek head, and kiss thy fair large ears, my gentle joy. Bottom, where's Peas Blossom? Peas Blossom, ready. Scratch my head, please, Blossom. Where's Monsieur Cobweb? Cobweb, ready. Monsieur Cobweb, good monsieur, get you your weapons in your hand and kill me a red-hipped bumblebee on the top of a thistle, and good monsieur, bring me the honey bag. Do not fret yourself too much in the action, monsieur, and good monsieur, have a care the honey bag break not. I would be loath to have you overflown with a honey bag, signor. Where's Monsieur Mustard Seed? Ready? Give me your nief, Monsieur Mustard Seed. Pray you leave your courtesy, good monsieur. Mustard Seed, what's your will? Bottom. Nothing, good monsieur, but to help cavalry Cobweb to scratch. I must to the barber's, monsieur, for methinks I am marvellous hairy about the face, and I am such a tender ass, if my hair do but tickle me, I must scratch. Titania. What, wilt thou hear some music, my sweet love? Bottom. I have a reasonable good ear in music. Let's have the tongues and the bones. Titania. Oh, say, sweet love, what thou desirest to eat. Bottom. Truly a peck of provender. I could munch your good dry oats. Methink I have a great desire for a bottle of hay. Good hay, sweet hay, hath no fellow. Titania, I have a venturous fairy that shall seek the squirrel's hoard and fetch thee new nuts. Bottom, I had rather have a handful or two of dried peas. But I pray you, let none of your people stir me. I have an exposition of sleep come upon me. Titania, sleep thou, and I will wind thee in mine arms. Fairies, be gone, and be always away. So doth the woodbine the sweet honeysuckle gently entwine. The female ivy so enrings the barky fingers of the elm. Oh, how I love thee! Oh, how I dote upon thee! Oberon. Welcome, good Robin. Seest thou this sweet sight? Her dotage now I do begin to pity. For meeting of her late behind the wood, seeking sweet favours for this hateful fool, I did upbraid her and fall out with her. For she his hairy temples then have rounded with coronets of fresh and fragrant flowers, and that same dew which sometimes on the bud was wont to swell like round and orient pearls, stood now between the pretty flowerets' eyes like tears, that did their own disgrace bewail. When I had my pleasure taunted her, and she in mild terms begged my patience, I then did ask of her changeling child, which straight she gave me, and her fairy sent to bear him to my bower in fairyland, and now I have the boy. I will undo this hateful imperfection of her eyes. And gentle Puck, take this transformed scalp from off the head of this Athenian swain, that he awaking when the other do, may all to Athens back again repair, and think no more of this night's accidents, but as the fear vexation of a dream. But first I will release the fairy queen. Be as thou wast wont to be, see as thou wast wont to see. Dian's bird or Cupid's flower has such force and blessed power. Now, my Titania, wake you, my sweet queen. Titania. My Oberon, what visions have I seen? Methought I was enamoured of an ass. Oberon. There lies your love. Titania. How came these things to pass? Oh, how mine eyes do loathe his visage now. Oberon. Silence a while. Robin, take off his head. Titania, music call, and strike more dead than common sleep of all these five the sense. Music, ho, music such as charmeth sleep. Now, when thou wakest with thine own fool's eyes peep, Oberon, sound music. Come, my queen, take hands with me, and rock the ground whereon these sleepers be. Now thou and I are new in amity, and will tomorrow midnight solemnly dance in Duke Theseus's house triumphantly, and bless it all to fair prosperity, where thou the payers of faithful lovers be wedded with Theseus in all jollity. Fairy king, attend and mark, I do hear the morning lark. Oberon. Then my queen in silence sad, trip we after night shade. We the globe can compass soon, swifter than the wandering moon. Titania. Come, my lord, and in our flight tell me how it came this night that I sleeping here was found with these mortals on the ground. So that's the ending of our reading. It's a very small passage. We'll do the rest in a minute. First of all, obviously, the first scene between Titania and Bottom with the fairies is to be read with a good dose of irony. You will see that obviously Bottom is still recounting rubbish about fetching a honey bag, the bee, a bottle of hay, a peck of provender, etc. Doesn't realise why he's hairy about the face. Well, of course, he's got a massive head on his shoulders, so he doesn't really sort of get the idea. I have a good ear in music. There's lots of jokes about the donkey's ears, because of course donkeys have very large ears. I have a good ear for music. Give me the Tongan bones, etc. It's all good, straight fun. I wouldn't say necessarily clean fun, because the Elizabethans didn't like clean fun very much. They liked sort of good, big, filthy, dirty jokes. But it's meant to entertain and show how ridiculous Bottom is in this context, and how the fairy queen, having fallen in love with him, makes him out to be something quite different. The joke about the nuts and the peas, well, as they say in French, "on fait pas un dessin." Obviously, it's to do with the male genitals, which of course the Elizabethans would have appreciated a great deal. And so we have a ridiculous situation between the fairy queen and Bottom, a mechanical. And obviously everybody would have picked up on the idea of ass and bottom. I told you that in a preceding video. Then the conversation between Oberon and Puck, or sometimes he's called Robin. So sometimes in your version you might find him called Robin, and in fact Oberon uses both names to call him Robin Goodfellow and Puck. Obviously now Oberon has had his fun. He has got the changeling child, and he decides now to take the charm off Titania's eyes, because this is getting too ridiculous for words. And in fact, it's causing Oberon some jealousy, because when Titania says, "Oh, how I love thee, how I dote on thee," obviously he's wishing that she would say those things to him. So he says, "This is enough. This is the vexation of a dream." Dream, again, a reference to what is not necessarily true, what is between sleeping and waking, what is not necessarily a rational occurrence. At the end, Titania and Oberon, she wakes up. She realizes that the person or the thing that she's fallen for is in fact an ass, and so therefore she goes back to Oberon, and they will dance in the house of Theseus to bless the marriage of Theseus to Hippolyta, but also the weddings of the lovers. So that's all for this reading. I'll put a next one up, and we'll do the rest of the scene.